Greetings, fellow detectives, and welcome to Boiler Room Detective. The case of the nocturnal boiler failure. The new boiler you just installed isn't working, the customer said. After checking our records, I saw the boiler was installed almost 3 years ago. His definition of new and just differs from my definition. I told him when the boiler was installed and he asked us to come anyway. It was an early fall day and the temperatures at night were starting to drop. Jacket weather, as my mom used to say. Today's forecast called for dropping temperatures all day. When I arrived at the boiler room, I switched on the lights and heard the boiler start with a soft swoosh. The building had a single boiler with an atmospheric burner. The following 2 hours were spent checking the controls, the low water cutoff, and taking a combustion reading. I checked the thermostat in the hall to verify it operated the boiler. The pump worked and the system pressure was correct. Satisfied the boiler was running properly, I went upstairs and told the owner we couldn't find anything. "Then why was my building cold this morning?" he asked. "Not sure, but call me if it happens again," I suggested. I noticed the temperature dropped when I went outside to my truck. A few hours later, the owner called and was furious. "It's down again. It stopped working right after you left," he thundered. "Okay, I'll be right there," I said. "I hope so," he said. When I arrived, I went inside the boiler room and flipped on the light switch. The boiler started right up. I cycled it numerous times without fail, at least 10 times. The flame safeguard flame signal was strong even when the main flame lit. As I opened the door to leave, I switched off the lights and heard the boiler stop. Turning the lights back on, the boiler started, and I smiled. Cycling the light switch several times, I knew what had happened and met with the owner. "Well, figure it out yet?" he asked. "Your boiler only works when the boiler room lights are on," I said. "Wait, you're telling me that my boiler is suddenly afraid of the dark?" he asked, laughing. "Did you have some electrical work done?" I asked. "In the summer, we had a fire alarm system installed," the owner said, nodding. The electrician moved the boiler power wire to the light circuit and used the boiler circuit for the fire alarm system. The owner followed me to the boiler room, and I showed him how the boiler only ran when the light switch was on. He toggled the switch several times and asked, "What can I do?" I suggested he leave the lights on until he gets the wiring figured out, and suggested he called the electrician. The owner shook his head and said, "Boy, I hope you're not going to invoice me for 2 trips. I love my customers." If you would like to contact me, my contact information is here. In addition, I have my 2 websites. The Brewing with Steam site has monthly blog posts on steam systems for breweries and distilleries. I have written 11 books on boilers, and they are available on Amazon. In addition, you could find some of my writings in these fine publications. Thanks for stopping by Boiler Room Detective, and I hope to see you on the next case.